Hey y'all. Okay, I wanted to show y'all this. I don't know if y'all are aware yet, but there has been a former NBA UCLA player that was killed from a shootout with the police. Okay, Tyler Honeycutt is his name. Apparently he had barricaded himself in the house in his apartment and started shooting at the police, and then the police started shooting back, and then after all of that, then they realized he was dead. They still thought that he was alive because I guess there were text messages maybe that were coming through, but this man has died from this. So I want to show y'all this article, and then I'll go and show y'all the one from when he was actually barricaded in the house, before they had pronounced him dead. Okay. This says, a former NBA and UCLA basketball player was reportedly involved in a shootout with police that began late Friday night and continued into early Saturday morning. According to a report from ABC 7, the player was found dead after an altercation with the LAPD. The player allegedly barricaded himself inside a Sherman Oaks residence after firing on police. According to the report, the suspect's mother called police after her son started acting erratically. LAPD SWAT officers went into the home and discovered the unidentified man's body early Saturday morning after shots were fired. However, the LAPD released a statement via Twitter saying they were unsure if the suspect was hit by gunfire. The LAPD then issued another statement saying they located an unresponsive male at the scene. Update. We can confirm that during the initial encounter, the suspect fired a shot out of the residence and officers returned fire. No officers were injured, and it is unknown if the suspect was struck. There is still an ongoing barricaded situation with SWAT officers on scene. And then here's another one. Update. SWAT entered the residence and located an unresponsive male. LAFD responded and pronounced the male dead at scene. Investigators from our Force Investigation Division are at scene conducting a thorough investigation, and we will provide more details as they become available. In ABC's initial report, the news network named the suspect as former UCLA player Tyler Honeycutt. Since removed by ABC 7, former UCLA and Houston Rockets player Tyler Honeycutt was shooting at police in Sherman Oaks. It's an absolute madhouse there with SWAT, tanks, etc. This is serious. I wonder what happened. The site has since removed Honeycutt's name from the report. According to the report, after the suspect's mother called police and they arrived at the home, the suspect fired at police, who then returned fire. No officers were injured in the incident. Other reports seem to have indicated the suspect was Tyler Honeycutt. Unreal, an update on the standoff in Sherman Oaks with former Sacramento Kings draft pick Tyler Honeycutt. We'll update the post as more becomes known. Okay, now this is apparently when everything was going on, because it said, the reporter had said, that the man was still alive, or the man was alive and he was still in the house. Okay. So I'll play this in just a second. It says, former UCLA player barricaded in Sherman Oaks house after shooting at police. And this was published last night at 11:44 on July 6th. Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles. A former NBA and UCLA basketball player barricaded himself inside a Sherman Oaks residence after firing a gun at police Friday night. The man is said to be in his mid-20s. The shooting occurred in the area of Riverside Drive and Tyrone Avenue around 5 p.m. Authorities received a phone call from the man's mother, who said her son was acting erratically. When officers arrived, the man opened fire at the officers, who returned fire. No officers were injured in the shooting. While officers could not communicate with the man after the shooting, They believed he was still alive based on text messages. SWAT officers were on scene as well. At least 30 residents surrounding the home were evacuated as a precaution. The investigation is ongoing. Okay, so here, I'll go ahead and play this. This is sad. Like, I wonder what happened. I mean, did he just... I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he just snapped. I mean, his mom said he was acting erratically and called the police. And then he just started shooting at the police. You know? I mean, I'm wondering what made him get to that point. But here, I'll go ahead and play this.
Mark, that barricade taking place just down the street from where we are at Silmar in Riverside in Sherman Oaks. Eyewitness News has been told by a law enforcement source that the suspect, who is still barricaded inside that house, is a former UCLA basketball player who had a brief career in the NBA. He's believed to be in his mid-20s. Now, this all began around 5 this afternoon when police received a call from the suspect's mother that her son was behaving erratically. When they arrived on scene, the suspect opened fire and shot at the officers, and the officers returned fire. Since that point, we're told the police have not been able to communicate with the suspect. Police believe, though, possibly because of texts that were sent, that he is alive. There's a very large police presence here. Now, the SWAT team is on scene, and we have seen LAPD officers with guns drawn in tactical gear. Here's what the LAPD has said about the officer-involved shooting.
No officers were injured during the officer-involved shooting, and all indications are that the suspect is still alive. He is believed to be armed and barricaded inside of a residence, and it's all believed that he is the sole occupant inside of that residence. Our SWAT team, along with crisis negotiators and our mental evaluation unit, are also on scene.
And still a very active scene here. Again, this began 6 hours ago. We're told that 30 residents who live in this neighborhood have been evacuated because of this situation.
You know, it's sad. I'm wondering, you know, like, I mean, I don't know what happened. But I mean, this guy was young. He was in his mid-20s. You know, I don't know. I mean, in some situations like this, you know, a lot of people, especially so young, like, they can't handle the pressure that it takes from the fame. You know, you're faced with a lot of pressure. You know, he was getting money. You know, he was becoming a public figure. You know, or he was a public figure. I mean, and this is something sometimes that a lot of people can't handle. But, you know, but then especially being young. And this is why we see a lot of celebrities, you know, on drugs, or, you know, doing things like this, or committing suicide, or what have you. It's because they're under so much pressure from, you know, from the world, to where they can't handle it, and they literally just snap. You know, hopefully there will be some more details as to what took place before it got to this point. And if it is, you know, I will give y'all an update. But, you know, in the meantime, you know, I'm going to be praying for this man's mother, because now she has lost her son, you know, and I can't even imagine what she's going through, because she's the one that called the police. And, you know, it's not her fault at all that this happened. I mean, and she should really have no reason to feel guilty. But, you know, just, I mean, by her, you know, being his mom and stuff like that, I mean, of course, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of things going through her mind, you know, but it's not her fault at all. I mean, she was just trying to, you know, get help for her son. So, you know, and she could have been in fear, you know, who knows. But I wanted to show this to y'all in case y'all hadn't seen it. It's a sad, sad situation. And I will be, you know, praying for this young man's mother and the rest of his family and his loved ones. Leave your comments and feedback below. If y'all want to send me anything, please feel free to do so in my email, or you can add me on Facebook and send whatever you like through Messenger. And if you have not subscribed to my other channel yet, please click on the link below and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll be talking to y'all later.